It's the opening round of the NFL playoffs, and EA Sports continues its coverage of Super Wild Card Weekend. It's the Browns and the reigning AFC champs, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL
Today,
25.
The first of 3 on this Wild Card Sunday. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. The first of 3 on this fine Sunday. It is Super Wild Card Weekend, and off we go on EA Sports. Oh, he's got room past the 30. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. The Houston offense heading out to the field for the first time. Leading this offense, their veteran quarterback.
I remember talking to him earlier this season, Mike, and he emphasized the importance of winning their division. That guarantees you host at least one playoff game. Well, that goal, that's been reached. Now, they have their sights set on something even bigger, but to accomplish that, they're going to have to take advantage of this opportunity right here in front of them. That starts by doing whatever it takes over these next couple hours to extend their season one more week.
A big play right out of the gate on the first play. 33 yards.
Those are the explosive pass plays that this team is going to continue to mine all day. And you can see pre-snap, the quarterback loved his matchup. He allowed his receiver to work downfield. Perfect throw, and now sets them up to try to see if they can finish this drive off with some points.
Out of bounds, but in business. They mark him down near the 2. Give him 27, and it's first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Trying to push the pile forward. He didn't even get to the 1-yard line. They stop him short. No gain. They'll try it again from the 2. Second and goal. They'll go with him again. And this time he's in. Touchdown, Texans. And that is the way to start a game. Not just score, but, Greg, score quickly. A nice opening drive for the first 6 points.
Well, it seems like the hour spent on that opening game script was time well spent. I mean, to take the ball right down the field that quickly right out of the gates, that's a pretty good opening drive and an early 6 points.
The extra point, up and good. And the Texans will jump out to a 7-0 lead here on Super Wild Card Weekend. 7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. From the 6, here comes a return. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Cleveland offense set to take the field for the first time. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the young man from Florida State.
Going on the road in the playoffs, Mike, it's daunting for any quarterback, let alone a rookie. But if there's one thing this guy has shown all year, it's the fact that not only is he resilient, but nothing appears to ever faze him. Getting your team to the tournament in your first year, it's a massive accomplishment in its own right, but I don't think he's done yet. He expects to walk into this stadium in a hostile environment and come away with a win. And there's one thing this season has showed us is don't put anything past this guy.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man, the tight end, David Njoku.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback. Get into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. Trying to shove his way forward, but brought down after a gain of a yard. Here's 3rd and 2. Going to try to pick up the first down with his own read.
Sometimes, Mike, the best plan is also the simplest plan. And for this team, just snap the ball to your quarterback, let him find some daylight, and go get that first down himself.
He's going to keep this again. Oh, and the rookie puts it on the deck. It's a fumble. The Texans have it.
You know, it's amazing that guys still end up fumbling the ball, because I can tell you from experience, the first 15 minutes of every offensive practice is ball security circuit. And that could be a combination of multiple things. How to go to the ground without getting loose to the ball, almost like the art of falling. It could be running over bags or through bags as guys take swats at the ball trying to knock it out. There are so many ways to simulate what the game is like, because at the end of the day, if you want to win in the NFL, protecting the ball is the #1 priority, and it cannot be stressed enough.
A gain of 21 on that pass play. It's good for a Texans first down. Back to throw. Quick throw, taken in. He's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pick and catch on first down. 2nd and a yard. From the shotgun, it's a give up the middle. And the Texans are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
And he gets out wide. He'll go to the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. He is shining in this postseason spotlight. That's his 2nd touchdown of the game. Give him a 2nd touchdown on this one. What an opening quarter, Greg. 2 rushing touchdowns in the first.
Well, Mike, we kind of had a feeling this might be the case. They told us all week how important it was to get this guy involved early and often, and boy, have they ever. He has made his presence felt here early in this one.
The extra point is good. And the Texans move out on top, 14-0. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. They're trying to pin him deep. They'll take this from the 3. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Browns offense ready for their 2nd possession. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Now they'll set up to throw. That's over the middle and intercepted. That's the linebacker, Azeez Al-Shai.
I think he chalked this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is, how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again?
Texans offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They start with the lead and the football. They do so With tremendous field position, it's 1st and 10. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down. Here's a toss as they look to run. Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackle for the loss of a yard.
Well, not a great start to this drive offensively. You take the sack on 1st down, and you're thinking, all right, let's go to the ground game. Let's pick up some of the lost yardage. But then you take a loss again, and now it sets up 3rd and real long, and you find yourself in a tough spot.
Good coverage there by a good corner, Derek Stingley. The Texans going to turn things over to their field goal unit. This is going to be from 53 yards out. That one is good. And the Texans stake themselves to a 17-0 lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The Browns offense ready to see what they can do. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. He's got his man on the in route. Yes, taken in over the middle. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throw away.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. They'll throw out of the gun. That's out to the flat, and it's complete. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple, and sets up 3rd down. Out of the gun, he'll throw. This is caught down that right sideline.
It's pretty evident, Mike, when a quarterback and his wide receiver are operating on the exact same page. The anticipation, the timing, the accuracy of both the route and the ball. And when they're working together like this, that's the definition of teach tape.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to get back to work. The lead is 17 as they try to maybe pull away in this one. It is 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. Working the right side, taken in by Rice. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll run. He'll try the left side now. And he'll be brought down past the 30. That is good enough to move the chains. 1st down. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. He'll try again here. 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And into traffic, but taken in. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. Trying to pick this one up on the ground. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. This would be a big loss, and we'll see if he can continue here in the divisional round. So on 4th down, on comes Tommy Townsend to punt for Houston. it's the Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. 3 tight ends in the game to start the drive. They'll begin here on the ground. And this will gain a couple of yards up to the 22-yard line. Second down and 8. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down. And this drive is over before it can start. He's swallowed up to force 4th down.
The defensive coaches, they preach all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
Here's Blake Gillikin now, as he'll take this a yard or 2 into his own end zone. This one fielded out beyond the 25. And it'll be a good return. He's able to get it up past the 40-yard line. The Texans offense getting set to get back to work. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll go left side here and complete this one. What about that? Out of bounds, all the way down inside the 15. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. They'll run. This is Jaylen Warren. And he's into the end zone. Jaylen Warren. Touchdown, Texans. Going for 2, they'll kick the point after. It's up and good. And the Texans are able to extend out to a 24-0 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This is going to be taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. Now, faking the give. Throw on the run is complete. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. One quarter in the books in round one of these AFC playoffs. 24-0 is our score. And more from Houston coming up in a moment. Now a 3rd and 2. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. His first catch of the wild card game, and good for a first down.
It's a gain of 10. First down.
Back to the air one more time. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down. They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. Throwing now from the gun. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down, Mike. Living in these third and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And that one not placed as well as he had hoped. It's all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense back onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Right away, they'll set up to throw. A very nice open field tackle there. He could not get free and gains nothing. They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Down the field, it's caught on that left sideline. And they will finally get him out of bounds, but not until he's near the 45-yard line. They get 25 on that connection. First down for Houston.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
That is brought in. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
This offense find themselves with a big lead here, but remember, it's still the first half. Like, there's a long way to go. Defensively, they've got to buckle down. They have to find a way to put a lid on this offense, because if they don't, they're going to find themselves at the halftime break down by a whole lot.
They'll look to throw yet again. To the goal line and in. Touchdown, Houston. This defense continuing to give up points. Greg, you've been on offenses like this. This has to feel great when you're on a roll like this.
And it's really twofold, Mike. First and foremost, just like you said, every offense in the league works all week. We want to start out fast. We want to establish some early rhythm and play our style of game. They've certainly done that. Now, on the flip side, what does it do to your opponent? It takes them completely out of their game plan, knowing this early in the game, they're chasing points.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Here comes a return from the 5. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Browns offense ready for this next possession. They'll try to get this a bit more respectable before the break. It has not been their half to this point. Let's see what they do on this drive. First down now. They'll come up here on second down and 5. He'll look to throw. Quick hitting slant there. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9. From the gun, they'll try to run it. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Here's a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
This offense just continues to struggle to find any sort of rhythm. And part of it is self-inflicted wounds. But the vast majority of their struggles has just been their inability to pass protect. You can't expect your quarterback to settle into the game and have any confidence operating out of the pocket. When the second he hits his back foot, the play's over.
Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll set up to throw. That's complete to Rice. Loose inside the 30. And he's going to be marked down, bringing it all the way to the 25-yard line.
Everyone notices the big play after the catch, Mike, right? That's the easy part, but don't take for granted or overlook how important ball placement is. Being able to hit your target in stride is the difference between a nice completion or a big chunk.
And he's in. Touchdown, Texans.
Mike, this is a great example of a wide receiver who just truly understands the concept of spacing. When you're open, stay open. If you're not open, get open. And when you can do that and operate in the middle of the field, man, you are such a weapon and a reliable target for your quarterback. It's a great example of it here. He works to stay open, middle of the field, ball's on target. It's an easy touchdown.
The extra point is good. And the Texans keep rolling right along. 38-0. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. The return starts from the 5. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Browns offense headed back to take over once more. They'll begin with 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. That is intercepted. And he is going to score. A pick 6 for the touchdown. We saw it earlier, the defense on the quarterback with the earlier interception. And now, Greg, not only do they pick him, they turn it into a pick 6.
And, Mike, the reality is this has just been a bad first half throwing the football. I mean, not only is it his 2nd interception, but this time the defense gets their hands on the ball, and they're able to take it all the way back for the pick 6.
The extra point is up and through. And the Texans will add one more onto their big lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. Good return, but he pays the price at the end. Picked up and thrown down. The visitors' offense ready to take over once more. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Right back to the air following that pick 6. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
When it starts bad, it has a funny way of ending up getting worse. And I don't think that could be any more true than it is right now. They're already down by multiple possessions, and after that start to this drive with the sack, they find themselves once again in a massive hole.
They'll throw out of the gun. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Now he'll air one out. That is caught. And they will get him down at the 35-yard line. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. He'll get this out wide. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain. Here now, 3rd and 5. That one is caught by Mooney. And he's going to be taken down short of the marker. And that is going to set up an interesting 4th down decision. That's taken in. He's going to pick up the Browns' 1st down. Quite a call there. They go for it on 4th and inches. And it's a gain of 5. Going back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. Now, following the run, one of the offensive linemen leading the way is a bit shaken up. Medical staff will take a look, see if he can continue here in the wild card round. They'll stick with him again. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. That's caught. It's the tight end, Njoku. And they're going to have enough to convert here. And it sets up 1st and goal. Here's a run. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. Back with more of the AFC playoffs after this. Now here's 2nd and goal. Trying to find a crease in there. It's a big pile of bodies, but he is going to come up short. They were stopped on 2nd down, now 3rd and goal from the 1. Njoku, the tight end, is the one in motion. They'll run, and he will take this one across into the end zone. Touchdown, Browns. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg, Could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
This one taken at the 7. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The home team's offense and the wideout getting set to go once more. They've opened up a big lead already, trying to put this one to bed maybe before halftime. Another drive starts here with 1st and 10. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to be taken down at the 37.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play, and it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest, and that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Good pickup of 16 on that screenplay, and a 1st down.
All right, Mike, so the way they teach these screenplays to the offensive lineman is you got to stop the defender's feet. You just don't want him to get a free, clean rush to the quarterback because you're so worried about getting out in front of the back. Make him start his rush over again before you slip out. Ball gets dumped right over the rusher's head. Bang, now you're in the open field.
And he's going to have a 1st down. They get into field goal range here at the 29. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Here's a timeout, Houston. That's their 2nd, as they'll stop it just a little bit over 30 seconds to go in this 1st half. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. That is caught, and he'll take it on in. Touchdown, Houston. And the show continues. What a 1st half he's had, Greg. A 3rd touchdown pass with that one.
Mike, what stood out to me the most so far is just the amount of space these guys have had to operate in. I think if I'm this defensive coordinator, me and my staff at halftime are revisiting this game plan. They obviously felt good about it coming in, but I don't think there's anything to feel good about thus far.
The PAT, up and good. And the Texans stretch things out even further. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the 1st half. And the kickoff's coming their way. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense going to get it one last time here late in the opening half. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. Now we'll get a timeout, Cleveland. That's their 2nd, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. That's over the middle to his tight end, Njoku. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
for the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet. Great pass rushers live for third down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
So we are at halftime here in the AFC wildcard matchup, as we'll send you over to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman standing by. He's got the EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. We had 2 great games yesterday, and we're just getting started here. The first of 3 more on this Wild Card Sunday. We'll get back out to you two in just a moment. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half. Because this one's already close to being in the bag,
here.
if it's not already.
Second half underway in the AFC wildcard game. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man. It's Mooney. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. A handoff as they try to run it here. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it. Now, on 3rd and 2, they'll try and throw for it. And he'll be taken down, but good enough to keep this drive going. It's a first down. Quick throw, taken in. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
So after surrendering their 6th sack of the game, I looked down on the sideline, Mike, and found their offensive line coach. He grabbed his headset, removed it, and he slammed it on the ground. And truthfully, I don't blame him. His unit has been getting worked up front all day in pass protection.
Punting time for the Browns. They're set to kick it away, as he's on for the 5th time this afternoon. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we show you some of the highlights, and there have been plenty to choose from. 3 touchdown passes and some other big-time throws as well. Certainly dialed in and on top of his game right throughout this one. Here's 1st and 10.
Yeah, keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Motion man is Rice. Off play action. He'll set up to throw. Got a man open downfield on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down inside the 40-yard line.
Mike, what we're seeing play out across the NFL is that offensively, it requires you to go the length of the field in a long, methodical drive. You're chances of coming away with points continue to go down the more you snap the ball. You have to be able to generate shot plays, pick up big, explosive chunks, because when you do, your ability to score points typically tends to follow.
Throwing now on 1st and 10. This one complete right side. A gain of 16 yards. It's good for a Texans 1st down. In the red zone now. He'll drop to throw. Quick throw here is complete. Here's 2nd and 2. Back to the air one more time. And this drive's going to continue. He's taken down, but they are set up with 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Here's Warren. A short gain down to the 7. Here now, 2nd down and goal. Back to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack. The Texans going to turn things over to their field goal unit. This, about as short as you can get. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Texans will extend their...
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
The Browns offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. Let's go back and scroll through some of their drives. One theme, Greg, going to keep emerging throughout. From 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. Drive will start on the ground. And not a whole lot there. Up to about the 25. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he'll get about 4 to the 29. 3rd and 5. Now they'll set up to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. The Browns getting their punting team out there as they are forced to kick for the 6th time today. That's taken at about the 14. Oh, hello. He is stopped in his tracks on that one. They made sure that return was not going any farther. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
And they'll mark them down up beyond the 30. Line of scrimmage is the 31 as they line up 1st and 10. Throwing now from the gun. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. look to throw yet again. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. He's got his man. Right side. It's complete. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And he gets run out of bounds. A short pickup, but it's good enough for a first down.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Got a man coming across the field. He's got it. And he'll move his ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line. Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's first and 10. They'll look to throw again. There's that man again. Another catch. And the Texans are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle's made here at the 3-yard line.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
And he will fight his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Texans. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score, and Greg, the big up front. Deserves some praise.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 2. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The visitors off. next possession. They're in need of points in a big way as they set out on 1st and 10. And he's going to struggle to get back to the line, maybe a yard. It is Azeez Al-Shire with the stop. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. That one is caught by Mooney.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
Trying to get to the edge. He will not get there. As a matter of fact, he was taken down behind the line. And that brings up 4th down. This will be returnable from his own 15. Oh, how about that hit? Wow. He took a pretty good lick at the end of that one. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. Motion man is Rice. To the air now on 1st and 10. Open man downfield. It's Rice. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
Really nice throw downfield on that conversion. Brings up a new set of downs. And defensively, Mike, this feels like desperation mode. If you allow them to finish this drive with a touchdown, this game feels all but over.
Who else? Another catch for his favorite target.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it.
This is one of those throws where you're hoping you do most of the damage after the catch, but give credit to the defense. Once that ball was caught, they were on him quickly, and there was nowhere for him to go after the catch.
And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Browns offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. There's a short throw caught by Njoku. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. One quarter remains here in this AFC wildcard matchup. This is the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. He'll drop to throw. We'll go right back to Njoku. He's got it again. And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. From the 50, he'll set up to throw.
I know this play results in an incomplete pass, but I think this is a really good job by the quarterback. His clock was going off. He felt that rush. He had no immediate target to go to with the ball. Instead, throw it away. Don't take the sack.
And for a 3rd time today, he's intercepted. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
There's really no other way to put it, Mike. This has just been a rough outing for the young rookie quarterback. And I think everyone understands going into these games, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be learning moments that these guys are going to gain that they can only gain through experience. The problem is, It's really hard to have positive learning experiences when you throw 3 picks. He's got to see the field better. He's got to anticipate better. And ultimately, he just needs to play better for his offense to have a chance. Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
To the left side in the hands of Rice. And that'll go for a gain of 7, and it's going to set up third down. He'll look to throw. And this one is intercepted. Derek Stingley comes up with it. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
So now this team's offense ready to get back at it. They'll begin with great field position, a short field, in fact, as they start with a first down. Now a give up the middle. Not much developing there. Short pickup down to the 47. They'll come up on a second down and 8. That's over the middle to his tight end, Njoku.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come.
And for the 4th time today, he has been intercepted. Inside the 30. The defense is having a day. They extend the lead with Greg their second pick-6 of the game.
And that's just something you don't see very often in the NFL, Mike. I mean, you might see a handful of games each year where there's 1 pick-6, but to get 2 pick-6s in the same game, this defense is on fire.
No problem there on the extra point, and the Texans add on to their already sizable lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. He'll start at the 4. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Position. Now it's the Browns' turn as they get set to take over again on offense. Things not looking good, but see if they get the turnaround, and he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
This has been a masterful game plan defensively. I mean, not only have they found their mismatches and been able to exploit them, it's led to 7 sacks so far. I mean, even when the offense seems to make an adjustment, Mike, the defense just still seems to be 1 step ahead of him.
He's got it! And he's going to take this one all the way. 80 yards. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far. and it draws the flag. That's caught. It's the tight end, Njoku. That will make third down a little more manageable. Good yardage gained on that one. Back to throw. Quickly to the outside and complete.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
The Houston offense going to make their way back onto the field. This one appears to be safe in hand. It has been a clinical performance to this point. Now they'll try to finish up strong. They'll start this on the ground with Warren. And a good tackle out wide will hold him to a gain of just 3. 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Warren. And he'll get close to the marker. A nice run, probably a yard short of that first down. Here's third down and a few inches. They'll send a tight end in motion. They'll try and run it here with Warren. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the first down.
Once again, it's Warren. And he'll get about 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. They run with Warren. And he's going to get it. First down, taking this one up past the 40-yard line. So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Couple of first downs to start this drive. They're 1st and 10 up at the 42. A zone read here, and he's going to keep this himself. Oh, no dice there. He is met and tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
The key to running the read option, Mike, is that the timing has to be just right. If it's too slow getting going, a lot of the times defenders can get in the backfield and cause havoc, and that's exactly what happened here.
And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
Here's a case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it, you know it, and no matter what they do, they have no answers whatsoever.
And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. 2nd down and 8. So, it's a